$31,400,000 that's been allocated to all 95 counties. So a total of $31,400,000, and each county is going to get a percentage of that total. This money came from the settlements from the lawsuits that the state attorneys general filed several years ago, and it is now coming from the national administrator into the state general fund, and then it comes over to the Opioid Abatement Trust Fund. This has the McKesson, it has the J&J, it has the McKinsey. So there are several deposits that have already been made. Not all of them have been made yet, and then also with these settlements, many of them will be paying over a number of years. So like the J&J settlement, that's going to pay over 18 years.
The truth is there's not enough money out there to ease the generational pain caused by the opioid crisis. We can't make people whole. People have lost their family members. I mean, that's irreversible. I think what we can do is honor those lost by how we appropriate the money going forward. So yes, it's really hopeful. A.G. Slater, he told us when he gave us the charge for our council that we're setting up a system of care for the next 2 to 3 decades in the state of Tennessee. And that is really hopeful and it's exciting.
They are going to be able to spend it on items that are on the remediation list, such as for treatment, prevention, recovery, research.
So it's not like the tobacco settlement money from the 90s that could be spent on anything. This money has to go from something on that remediation list. And so when we look at that, we will certify that the counties are spending the money where they're telling us. And there'll be a process for that. We know in general what works, but we also want the counties to be able to assess what they have in their own counties and make their specific programs be the things that they think will be of most benefit in their county. And so there's a process for that. Now, the other big pot of money, you know, I guess what we're calling grant money, that will be decided by the Opioid Abatement Council ourselves. And we'll have an application that will outline the things that we want to see in that grant application. And there are things that you could guess right off the bat, right? Number of people we're going to affect, how's it fit into the current community. We want to see innovation. We want to see how you're going to work with other people within your county or even your region as far as stakeholders go to make this thing go forward.
What I am seeing and what I'm hoping for is definitely more collaboration across the state. I'm seeing that the counties are getting together councils of other providers and prevention specialists so that maybe they can all work together so that we have the local solutions, but then they're not working separately, that they're partnering together and building upon the experiences, building upon the successes that one city has seen, and perhaps that city real close to them, they can implement that strategy.
It's extremely personal for me because I am affected by the opioid crisis, and my family is, because 19 years ago I had this problem and I got world-class help. The Tennessee Medical Foundation and the programs that are set up for doctors in the state of Tennessee. And one of the things I told Attorney General Slater before he retired is that I want that opportunity for every Tennessean. And so the thing I want to do first and foremost is to prevent system deaths. Those are the deaths that we can stop by changing our system to increase access to care. So yes, it's personal because I know the effect it's had on my family, and I want that for every Tennessean. I want to put resources to something and I want to see a change tomorrow. And that's not how this happens. I do want to see access very early on. I want to see an access to care early on that people notice. Hey, it's easier to do this. It's easier to do that. It's easier to get this question answered. It's easier to know this. I think we really start to bend the needle, move the needle when we start talking about prevention. You know, I think that some of the things will be apparent early. I think other things will be apparent with the next generation.
Hearing a lot of excitement. They're really anticipating receiving the money to put towards more treatment and more prevention activities in their county. There has been some questions as to what they can spend the money on, when they will be receiving that money, and how much that they are receiving. So we're trying to get out there, meet with the county executives as frequently as we can.
It's a good thing to be getting money, but this is not a gallbladder, right? A diseased gallbladder, hey, I cut that out and you got to rehab for 2 weeks and you go back to your life. This is a complex issue, right? I want to make sure that we spend this money that has the most effect for the citizens of the state of Tennessee. So yeah, I'm nervous about that. So I think we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge what our county officials are up against, and then we have to give them the best guidance that we can on how to most effectively spend their money. Because we know at the grassroots level, solutions are local. And we have to be available to help guide our decision makers in that process. So we have 15 council members that have been appointed by the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker of the house, and then a couple of community organizations. So we come from various backgrounds.
We have representatives from across the state. We have doctors, we have sheriffs, we have judges, we have treatment providers, prevention providers. All of these folks have different experience with opioid treatment, or folks that are experiencing opioid addiction, so they bring that experience to the table.
We have a diverse background, but the one thing that we all do have in common is we care passionately about this particular topic, and we all want to work to find solutions that help our peers and the people residing in our communities. Openness is paramount here. There are no backroom deals. There aren't things going on behind the scenes or money that's been appropriated already. That hasn't happened. And that's one of the things I love about working in Tennessee, because it's not allowed. Everything we do is sunshine. And I think that openness needs to be there. I invite people to attend our committee meetings. I invite them to participate online. You need to know. And what happens there is the extent of what we do. And it has to be on our agenda. We're not going to cover it. If something comes up in our meeting that's not on our agenda, I'll stop the meeting and we'll put it on the agenda for next time, because it needs to be sunshine. This needs to be a process of openness that everybody needs to have access to.
So we have a website, the Opioid Abatement Council website. They can go to that website, and we have a contact us page, and they can submit their questions through that contact us page. There's also an email address, opioid.abatement@tn.gov, and that comes directly to me and my staff. And so we will be able to review the questions that come in, and then we can take those to the council chair and to the council for them to review.